UFC 304 is finally upon us. It takes place this weekend. I'm going to go through every single fight on the card as always. Give my prediction, give my breakdown for who I think is going to win and how. Starting with the very first fight on the card, Shauna Bannon versus whoever the fuck that is. I'm going to pick Shauna Bannon. She's an underdog? Who is this? I'm not going to act like I know who this is. She's a underdog. Am I missing? I don't know who Alice Ardelean is. It's her debut. I don't know who this is. I don't really care to find out. I'm going to pick Shauna Bannon. She's not even that good. So, I mean, I shouldn't be that surprised that she's an underdog. Like, she's not great. But I figured she would be a favorite against someone stepping in on short notice who has never competed in the UFC before and doesn't have a picture. Wow, that's very surprising to me. But I'm going to go with the underdog, apparently, and pick Shauna Bannon to get it done by decision in that one. Next fight, Mick Parkin. Get Micked versus Lukasz. I believe it's Brzeski with a D sound, unless I'm mistaken. I swear on the commentary I've heard Brzeski, so that's what I'm going to call him. I'm just going to call him Lukasz, actually. Lukasz is coming off the win over Walter Walker, Johnny Walker's younger brother, making his UFC debut. And Mick Parkin, he is just fat, you know. He's just a fat guy, but he trains with Tom Aspinall, so he's kind of inherited a little bit of his skills. He's not awful. For a fat guy like Mick Parkin, he's actually pretty good. I really want to pick Lukasz, but I'm not going to. I was interested to see what the odds are. I figured Mick Parkin would be a favorite. I think minus 278 is a little crazy. I don't think Mick Parkin is that good, but I do think he's good enough to beat Lukasz Brzeski in this fight. Lukasz Brzeski is a guy who's really not that good himself. So I think he's going to get micked. Mick Parkin's going to mick him up. So I'm going to take Mick Parkin to get that one done by decision as well. Moving up, we got Sam Patterson taking on Kiefer Crosbie. Gee, I'm going to pick Sam Patterson because Kiefer Crosbie is awful. He is just terrible. He's not good. This is kind of a layup for Sam Patterson. There's not a lot to break down. Sam Patterson is huge for welterweight. Wow, 6'3". I did not know he was that tall. I knew he was tall. I didn't know he was 6'3". Reach advantage. Kiefer Crosby's just awful. I think Sam Patterson's going to fight really well behind his reach. Pick apart Kiefer Crosbie. I say he gets this one done by KO in round one. Sure, why not? Why is this on the early prelims? Okay, whatever. What? I didn't know this was on the early. This must have just happened today. What? I knew it got moved off the main card. I didn't know it got moved from the prelims to the early prelims. Dude, what is this bout order? Why is Oban Elliott fighting after a number one contender fight at flyweight? Okay, whatever. Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Kape. Manel Kape is the underdog now. Okay, I remember when this fight got announced, this was a pick'em fight. Actually, no, I think Mokaev was an underdog when this fight got announced. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Manel Kape was a favorite. And now the odds have flipped in Muhammad Mokaev's favor, and I do think he's going to get this one done. I think Manel Kape is very overrated. I really do. I think a lot of people gas him up. He's not really that good. I mean, he's good. He is good. I don't want to say he's garbage, but a lot of people act like he's going to be the next flyweight champ. I really don't think so. I don't think he's good enough to beat Muhammad Mokaev. I really don't. I think people let their bias get in the way of Manel Kape and who he really is as a fighter. He's a fan favorite. People are going to support him no matter what. I'm sure Tapology is probably like 90% Manel Kape to 10% Mokaev. But I think Muhammad Mokaev is going to get it done. I really do. I think he's going to just wet blanket Manel Kape. I don't think he's going to finish him, but I think he's going to win all 3 rounds. I think he's going to win a 30-27 decision. Not only do I think Muhammad Mokaev is just more talented than Manel Kape, but Muhammad Mokaev is one of those guys, and there's another one on this card. when you know he's gonna lose. He's like, oh, there's no way. He looked so garbage against Alex Perez, and he's fighting Manel Kape. There's no way he beats Manel Kape. And then those guys that you think they have no chance to win their next fight, they always win it every single time. I'm telling you, he's got plot armor going into this fight. There is no way he loses to Manel Kape. Plot armor is on his side. Plus, I just think he's just better than Manel Kape. I really do. So I'm gonna go Muhammad Mokaev to get this one done by decision. Moving up, we got, oh my God, I don't know why this is above the fight we just talked about. I really don't. Oban Elliott is taking on Preston Parsons for the early prelim headliner. I am going to go with Preston Parsons. Oban Elliott did not look good against Val Woodburn, who is a guy that just does not really belong in the UFC. He's been cut since then. He was really brought in as a Bo Nickel victim. And Oban Elliott, he got rocked by Val Woodburn bad in that fight. He did not look impressive at all. I just think Preston Parsons is the better fighter than Oban Elliott, plain and simple. I'm going to take Preston Parsons to get this one done. I'm going to say he wins a decision against Oban Elliott. Moving up, prelim opener. Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. Wow. This is a fight. I'm gonna take Modestas Bukauskas. Yeah, I'm just gonna take Modestas Bukauskas. This is a very low-level fight. I don't have anything to go off of, really. I'm gonna take Bukauskas to get this one done by decision. Moving up, oh my God, Jake Hadley versus Caolan Loughran. Oh my God, Jake Hadley is a minus 218 favorite? What? Jake Hadley's awful. Jake Hadley is terrible, and he's stepping in on short notice. What? I mean, I think Loughran is overrated, but Jesus, man, Jake Hadley stinks. Jake Hadley is so bad. Oh my God, what? I'm not picking Jake Hadley. I don't care if he's a minus 218 favorite. Jake Hadley is awful. He does not belong in the UFC. I'm going to pick Caolan Loughran, man. I'm going to go with an underdog. Wow. I did not think... oh, my God. What? Give me the underdog. Give me Caolan Loughran. This is a short notice fight for Jake Hadley. I kind of feel like he's just taking this fight so the UFC gives him another chance. Like, they kind of owe him one for stepping in on short notice, so they can't just cut him. I kind of feel like he's just stepping in so they don't cut him and they give him another chance. He's so bad, man. I'm just gonna pick Caolan Loughran. Jake Hadley sucks. I don't care if he's a minus 218 favorite. I don't understand that. I'm gonna take Caolan Loughran. Whoa, oh my God. McCann versus Bruna, Brasil. What are the odds on this? Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was going to pick McCann. I didn't think he'd be that big, but Bruna, Brasil is just garbage, so it kind of makes sense. I think McCann is going to destroy her. I think she's going to knock her out in round one. Giving McCann round one KO. Oh, my God. I'm Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. I'm going to take Nathaniel Wood over Daniel Pineda. Whoa, I know. Yeah, Daniel Pineda is just awful. He is so bad, and Nathaniel Wood is pretty good. He got cheated against Muhammad Naimov, constantly cheated over and over again in that fight. No point deduction or anything. Very strange. He beat Andre Philly. I think that's a good win. Charles Jourdain's a pretty good win. John Castaneda, whatever. Yeah, I mean, but he's going to beat Daniel Pineda. Daniel Pineda is awful. So give me Nathaniel Wood. I'm going to say he gets this one done by decision over Daniel Pineda. Moving up, we got the main card. Arnold Allen and Giga Chikadze are opening up the main card. And I think this is a tricky fight for Arnold Allen. Giga Chikadze is a talented kickboxer, but Arnold Allen, this guy's losses are to Max Holloway, which was a close fight. I mean, Max Holloway did win, Arnold Allen took rounds off of Max Holloway. So to have a competitive fight with Max Holloway, no shame in that loss. Losing to Movsar Evloev, who was undefeated, 18-0, in a very, very close fight. Very close. So those are his 2 losses in the UFC. And Giga Chikadze is just a guy that's kind of been figured out at this point. I remember all the hype behind Giga Chikadze when he was on the come-up. You know, before his loss to Calvin Kattar, people were talking about this guy as a future champion, which I thought was hilarious. And now it is hilarious. He's just a patient kickboxer. And if you pressure Giga Chikadze, he will fold. He does not handle pressure well at all. Arnold Allen, I'm not even saying he has to grapple, but I think grappling is the best way for him to win this fight. Giga Chikadze has awful takedown defense, no wrestling. He is a pure striker. But I think Arnold Allen can beat him on the feet with his pressure. Because, like I said, when you pressure Giga Chikadze and you don't let him sit back and pick you apart at range, that's when he really struggles. So I'm going to take Arnold Allen. I think he's a very underrated fighter. And I think he is just levels above Giga Chikadze. So give me Arnold Allen to win that one by decision. Moving up, why is this on the main card over Manel Kape and Muhammad Mokaev? Who knows? But this is a fun fight. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodriguez RoboCop. Ooh, what are the odds on this? Christian Leroy Duncan's a favorite. Okay. Man, I'm gonna take Christian Leroy Duncan. I think I'm gonna take Christian Leroy Duncan. I think he's just gonna be a little too quick on the feet. You know, people were gonna talk about Gregory Rodriguez. He has the takedown. Have take him down and hold him down. But I don't think he's going to be able to get down and hold down Christian Leroy Duncan. I think he's going to have been working on that, you know, like nonstop since his loss to Armen Petrosyan. I don't think Rodriguez is just going to go in there and take him down with ease and hold him there for 3 rounds. I think Christian Leroy Duncan's going to stuff any of the takedowns or RoboCop shoots, and I think he's just going to outstrike him on the feet. I'm going to take Christian Leroy Duncan. I'm going to say I don't think he finishes him, but I say he puts on a dominant decision win, winning every round. Maybe he gets a 10-8 round in there. I'm going to take CLD by decision. Moving up, I'm not calling him that. Bob Green is taking on Paddy Pimblett. What are the odds on this now? Paddy Pimblett is still an underdog. Okay. Now, I'm going to take Paddy Pimblett because this is the other guy I was talking about. Remember, I was talking about Muhammad Mokaev. He's one of those guys that's like, when you think there's no way he wins this fight, how does he win this fight? He looked garbage against Jared Gordon. How does he beat Bobby Green? And then he's just going to go out there and do it. He just is. He's got plot armor. But also, I do think Bobby Green, you know, I hate to keep bringing it up, but he did get murdered by Jalen Turner. And he was rocked against Tony Ferguson. He was rocked against Jim Miller. And Paddy Pimblett, he can hit hard. And he leaves his hands down all the time. And I think Paddy Pimblett is getting to the point where he's hated so much that he's become underrated. Like, I'm not saying he's good and he's going to go and like challenge for a world title, but I do think people are kind of trashing him a little too hard to where they just think he's absolute garbage. But I think he's better than He's better than Bob Green. I think he beats Bob Green. I really do. I'm going to take Paddy Pimblett to get this one done. I'm going to say he gets a round 1 TKO win over Bob Green. Whether that's ground and pound from a knockdown, whether he gets him down and pounds him out, pause, no diddy. I think he finds TKO in round 1. That's going to be my pick. Moving up, this is an easy one for me. Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades. Tom Aspinall is going to run through Curtis Blades. He is. Curtis Blades has become one of the most overrated fighters in the UFC. Now, I'm not saying he's bad. That doesn't mean he's bad, okay? Overrated doesn't mean bad. But people think Curtis Blaydes is this, like, elite wrestler who can also strike and has knockout power. That is just what Tom Aspinall is. Curtis Blaydes is a flat-footed, slow striker with good wrestling for the heavyweight division. Sure, because most of these fat people cannot wrestle. But he's really not that good. He's really not. His wrestling is good. Like I said, it's good for heavyweight. But Almeida was ragdolling this dude. And Almeida walks around at like 230 or some shit. Like, he's super light for heavyweight. And he was tossing Curtis Blaydes around like it's nothing in that first round. I just think there's levels to this, man. Like, I've talked about it a lot. Like, I mention it here and there in my videos. I think Tom Aspinall is going to be the greatest heavyweight of all time. I think he has all the talent in the world. He can actually wrestle. Curtis Blaydes can wrestle for heavyweight. Thomas, I'm calling him by his government name. Thomas Aspinall can actually wrestle. Like, is actually a good wrestler, no matter the division. And he's quick on the feet. He's light on his feet, bouncing in and out of range, quick with his hands, power in his hands, one-shot KO power in his hands. He is everything that people think Curtis Blaydes is. You know, he is the well-rounded guy that can strike and can wrestle. He just does everything better than Curtis Blaydes. And I hate to say it like this because it makes me like sound like I'm hating on Curtis Blaydes, but Curtis Blaydes is good. He is good. But Tom Aspinall, he's just on another level, and I think everyone's going to find that out one way or another. John Jones fanboys love to act like this Tom Aspinall guy is a bum who has no chance against John Jones because they're coping or they just don't watch the sport. But you will find out soon enough that Tom Aspinall is the greatest heavyweight on the planet. And he's going to go out there and make it look easy against Curtis Blaydes. I really believe that. I think he's going to get this one done in round 1. I think he's going to KO Curtis Blaydes round 1. Book it. That's going to be my pick. Next up, main event, Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad 2. I already made a video about this. What are the odds? 250, minus 250 for Leon Edwards. Yeah, sounds about right. I'm going to take Leon Edwards. I think he's going to KO Belal Muhammad in round 2. Belal Muhammad, he's open against southpaw strikers. Again, I already made a whole video about this. Jeff Neal in the southpaw stance landed that head kick, landed that left straight over and over again. Leon Edwards in their first fight landed the head kick, obviously wobbled Belal Muhammad. And Alan Joban also landed a head kick that rocked Belal Muhammad in his UFC debut. So, yeah, southpaw striker Joban drops and hurts Belal. Southpaw striker Jeff Neal drops and hurts Belal. Southpaw striker Leon Edwards has Belal Muhammad wobbled with a head kick in their first fight. He just struggles against southpaws that can strike. Now, Damian Maia is a southpaw. He's not a great striker. And then Takashi Sato is also a bum, but he is a southpaw. Again, he's not Leon Edwards. He's not Jeff Neal. So, yeah, I really think Leon Edwards is going to KO Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad, he knows this is his last chance at the belt. He's 36. The UFC does not like him at all. So he knows this is his only chance. I really don't think he's going to leave it in the hands of the judges. You know, with this being his only chance at the UFC belt, in all likelihood, he's going to go out there and he's going to try to put the pressure on Leon Edwards. He's going to walk him down, throw shots. But I think that's only going to make him more open to be hit by a sharp striker like Leon Edwards. So I think Belal Muhammad in round 2, going to try to be walking down Leon Edwards, putting volume on him, going to leave himself more open. Hands are going to be low, and Leon Edwards is going to find a head kick, a left high kick once again, and either drop Belal or hurt him bad. Leon's going to follow up and put him down and then finish him off with hammer fists in round 2 to get the KO win. I'm going to take Leon Edwards by KO in round 2. those are my picks for UFC 304 this weekend. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. Who do you think is getting it done in the co-main and main events? And I will see you next time.